Hey Crave families, it's Kevin Nunnery, high school pastor, here with another series preview. As summer winds down and school gets underway, we'll kick off a 3-week series called Life of the Party. Some of our high school students are certainly that. I often hear them before I even see them. Others are more comfortable on the edge of the action, but either way, this series will have application for all of our students. The theme verse for this series is a well-known one coming from Romans chapter 12, verse 2, which says, "Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good, pleasing, and perfect." Whether your student gets invited to every party or has never been to a single one, we want them to understand that we shouldn't cave to the pressure to conform to the ways of this world. Instead, we allow God to continue to transform us more and more every day to be like His Son, Jesus, by changing the way that we think. Each week of this series draws its topic from some traditional party games. Week 1 is Truth or Dare. This game is most often an excuse to do wild and silly things. I myself once licked the floor of a high school bus in a game of Truth or Dare, but I turned out mostly okay. Some questions I want to ask your students to think about in week 1 are, am I a person of integrity? Do I value truth? Do my actions and my words match up? Our primary passage this week will be Acts 5, 1 through 11. Where a couple named Ananias and Sapphira dared to not speak the truth to God and met an untimely end. Verse 11 tells us how sobering this was for all who witnessed it, and my hope is that it will carry a similar impact today. Coming out of week 1, a couple of questions you might ask your student are, what do you think of this story of this couple who lied to God? How important is the truth to you? How can you tell if someone's a person of integrity? If you're feeling particularly bold, you might play a family round of Truth or Dare. Good luck. Week 2 of our series is Never Have I Ever. If you're familiar with this game, it's designed to find out who has done what. For instance, you might say, never have I ever licked the floor of a high school bus. And as someone who has done this particular thing, I would have to identify myself through whatever means the game called for. Now, just a heads up, this is often a drinking game. So why would I choose this scandalous title? Am I encouraging drinking or other risky behaviors? Absolutely not. This week's message is all about boundaries and not getting caught up in chasing what the world tells us is important. Our primary passage for this week is 1 John 2, 15 through 17, where John warns that loving the world and what it has to offer means that we don't truly have the love of the Father within us. It's a challenging passage, and I expect it will cause many of our students to do some looking within themselves. I'm thrilled to have my good friend and ministry partner, Ryan Hendrick, our 5th and 6th grade pastor, come in to share this week. Ryan is one of the most intelligent people I know, and I'm excited for our students to hear from him. The final week of our Life of the Party series, the message is entitled, Spin the Bottle. Now, you know what this game is all about, even if you've only ever seen it portrayed on the silver screen. You spin the bottle and you kiss the player that it lands on. Let me assure you, we will not be playing Spin the Bottle at Crave, but our culture is very forward in promoting casual relationships with little commitment or investment. And that's not the picture that the Bible paints of a healthy, romantic relationship. Our primary passage will be Ephesians 5, 21 through 33, where Paul famously talks about submitting to one another. There's a lot that gets misrepresented here and misunderstood, so we'll wade through some of that and try to grasp what a healthy romantic relationship should really look like, both before marriage and after marriage. And we'll also glance at Song of Songs to get a look at healthy sexuality. If you're really wanting to have some interesting family conversation, crack that book open and study together. And should you choose to forego that, here are some questions you might ask your student coming out of this week. How do you feel about the casual hookup culture that is so prevalent? What are you looking for in a romantic relationship? What are your non-negotiables? Life of the Party is going to be a great series to kick off the school year. I'm looking forward to discussing integrity, boundaries, and romantic relationships with your students August 15th, 22nd, and 29th. Know that if your student misses a week, our podcast with the weekly message is posted within 48 hours, basically wherever podcasts can be found. We also have a brief recap video available on our YouTube channel, Brookwood Students, by the middle of the week. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to me through my contact information, which is available here on the screen. Thank you, as always, for the privilege of allowing us to partner with you in the discipleship journey of your student. We're praying for you and look forward to seeing your student with us soon.